Hi everyone, this is Emmy, and I'm here today with favecrafts.com, and I'm going to show you how to make this very easy bridal veil using a square of fabric. So to get started, you're going to need a square of any type of fabric. This is just a lacy fabric, but you could use tulle or any type of fabric. So by a square piece of fabric, I mean if your fabric is 45 inches on one side, it should be 45 inches on all the sides. You're going to need a glue gun, a strip of felt 1 inch by 4 inches, a hairband or hair combs or hair pins, and a small piece of ribbon for tying your gathers. To make this wedding veil, we're going to start with a square of fabric. It doesn't matter what the dimensions are. It can be a small veil, it can be a large veil. It's still going to work on the same principle that you start out with a square of fabric. And then what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you fold the fabric over, not in half here. We're going to fold it diagonally, but it's not going to be right at the corners. It's going to be approximately here, so that when you fold it down, it's going to have 2 layers. Okay, so here's my square fabric. I'm going to go ahead and fold it on the diagonal. Okay, I folded it, and I have about 10 inches at the corners, and then it gives me 10 inches all the way around also. So we have like 10 inches here, and 10 inches on the other side also, and then it winds up being 10 inches all along everywhere else. So now I'm going to open this back up, and I'm going to gather it all along this folded line. And I'm pretty good at eyeballing that, but if you have a problem following a straight line, you could just press that with the iron so that you'll have a straight line to follow. So I'm going to open it back up, and I'm going to start right along here, along my line. I'm going to start just bringing it forward like this. And once you have that gathered, this is what it's going to look like. So now I slid a piece of ribbon. It can be anything ribbon. It's not going to show. It's just something to make a cord out of. I've slid that underneath, and I'm going to now tie it. Okay, so I've just tied that. And I haven't tied it tight. I've still left approximately 4 inches wide. Okay? So now that that is tied off like that, we can bring this top part down, and we're going to work with this top part that we've made here. I've moved to an area where I can show you a better close-up. So here's the section that we have gathered, and here's the ribbon that we've tied to gather this up. And so we're going to take our 4-inch strip of felt, and we're going to place this on the felt. I'm going to rearrange the gathers. I'm going to run a line of hot glue here, and I'm going to glue this piece of felt here, which is going to form the top of our veil. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so I've got that glued down, and you can always sew that if you'd rather not use the glue gun. And I'm going to attach this bridal rose cluster to the top of the veil. And I'm not going to show you how to make that in this tutorial, but you can find my tutorial on making a bridal rose cluster at favecrafts.com. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue that on, but as I say, if you prefer to sew it, that's fine, you may sew it. Okay, so here's how it looks from the back. And so now you could either go ahead and hot glue or sew a headband on it, or you could sew or hot glue a couple of hair combs, one on each side, or you could just make little slits in the felt and just pin it on in the hair with hairpins. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how it looks on the mannequin. Okay, so here it is on the mannequin, and you can see that it has a second layer here, and that's this part that we folded down. And I'm not sure how well you can see this, so I'm going to show you on some stills. And here's how it looks from the front. And here's a back view, and you can see it has the two different levels. And if you wanted to, you could sew some lace all along the edge. Okay, and that's how you can make an easy bridal veil with using just a square of fabric. This tutorial was brought to you by favecrafts.com. Drop by the site sometime and have a look at all the crafting ideas they have.